Bulabinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavengavengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, Commonwealth Education Ministers told to value teachers. Hotel worker appears in court for deadly accident. And careless pedestrians becoming accident prone.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Teachers are one of the key pillars of the education system and need to be looked after to ensure they deliver the best. This was a topic of discussion during the opening of the 20th Annual Conference of Commonwealth Education Ministers, which has around 500 delegates taking part. Fijian Attorney General and Education Minister Aya Said Kayum took time to also highlight the free education initiatives in Fiji, which is targeted at improving the standard of education. Filipinai Castle with this report.
The importance of giving children in Fiji a chance to attend school was one of the main points put forward by the Attorney General and Minister for Education.
Only together can we address the great challenges facing students and young people around the world, including ingraining sustainable development and resilience in the delivery of high-quality education. Every country, of course, stands at its own level of development, and every country has its own priorities, aspirations, and game plans for the education of the students and the young people.
The Attorney General also stated that in Fiji, they are trying to ensure teachers are also looked after as they play an important role in educating our children.
The teachers are pivotal to delivering high-quality education. How do we manage them? How do we administer them? Do we give them the same level of attention? Do we give them the same level of accessibility to services and indeed technology that will actually help them deliver the services?
Similar sentiments were shared by the Commonwealth Secretary General, who says that education is the cornerstone of the Sustainable Development Goals.
Educate young people, explore with them values, attitudes, beliefs that shape their actions in positive ways, and they will be our moral compass. Equip them with skills and provide them with decent work, and they will be our custodians of sustainable development and social justice.
The outcomes of this conference will be presented at the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in London in April. Filipinai Castle, FBC News.
Sheil Chand appeared in the court today where prosecution Sunil Kumar objected to his bail, saying the accident that occurred over the weekend resulted in the loss of an innocent life. Chand has been charged with 1 count of dangerous driving occasioning death. It's alleged the young man was driving the vehicle that hit a 77-year-old elderly woman in Lamy. The woman is alleged to have been hit while trying to cross the road after getting off the bus she was traveling in. The woman died on the spot. Magistrate Chiochi Mbosewanga will rule on the bail application tomorrow. Many Fijians do not pay attention while crossing busy roads because they're either on their mobile phones or have earphones on. This comes after a 25-year-old man was hit by a bus at the Rewaderi Bridge outside Suva last week as he was listening to music on his headphones. Kelly Vadala reports.
Wearing of headphones and the use of mobile phones while walking on the road has become a familiar sight around the country.
Pedestrians, they annually they also contribute to accidents and the causes of fatal accidents, and that is why we had issued the awareness, just so that people can understand that, you know, listening to music, loud music, or fidgeting with your phone, especially along the busy highways, is a serious safety concern.
Naisoro says the victim, who was involved in the accident last week, admitted to listening to loud music which affected his concentration.
He did find that he was listening to music, and so he didn't hear the bus, and then he crossed suddenly, which resulted in the accident, and he's now in hospital. Everybody can relate to this. When you listen to music, your concentration is on the music and not so much with what is happening around you.
Many Fijians say sometimes drivers are blamed when pedestrians are not attentive on the road.
Very dangerous. People cross anyhow with the earphones. They don't bother about the traffic.
I see some of them wearing earphones in town, and it's no good and it's dangerous. They can't hear the vehicles when it's coming their way if they have their headphones on, and I think it's a serious issue.
Police stresses that road safety is everyone's responsibility and Fijians need to play their part in being vigilant and alert road users. Police say the public need to realize that safety is being compromised when you listen to loud music on your headphone and fidget with your mobile phone while walking along busy roads, as your concentration will not be on the movement of vehicles. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
The Consumer Council has been receiving numerous complaints from the public about bus companies not having disposable cards on their buses. Council's Chief Executive Pramila Kumar says this is a serious issue and needs to be addressed immediately. Catherine Krishna reports.
Some bus operators around the country are not carrying disposable cards for passengers, which is classed as a total disregard to the rules set out under the scheme.
We have done a survey where we found that there are a number of buses were running without disposable cards, and we have highlighted that matter to LTA. And the bus operators needs to understand, if you're not going to give disposable cards to the drivers, then obviously drivers will take money from the passengers and they'll keep it in their pocket.
Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission Chief Executive Joel Abraham says while buses do need to have disposable cards, the public also needs to be mindful of the system.
Also I've noted is that more and more people are now resorting to use disposable cards. The whole idea of the ticketing system is to enable people to plan better and also to capture essential data relating to travel patterns.
Abraham says that the Commission is working closely with Consumer Council to address this issue. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
The Chinese Association will be proposing a Chinese New Year public holiday to the Fijian government in the future. As the Chinese population continues to grow in Fiji, the association believes this is the right time for the proposal. The Chinese New Year is an important Chinese festival, also known as the Spring Festival.
So the Chinese community have discussed for a number of years now that we should approach government and seek the approval to have a public holiday for Chinese New Year. I think the time is right now to go forward to government. We talk about having an inclusive society. We celebrate in Fiji, we celebrate all the different festivals. I as a Fijian, I do that as well, you know, whether it's Diwali or some other religious holiday, we do that as well.
Still to come, Fiji secures funding for rail system and plans to introduce arbitration for businesses dispute. Details after the break.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko la ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyazo sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali taki yang gitu pinasawale na bunturongo, barong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
Fiji secured significant railway infrastructure development assistance from the Indian government during the Attorney General's official visit to the World Sustainable Development Summit in New Delhi last week. In his meeting with Indian Minister for Railways Piyush Goyal, Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum expressed the urgent need for revolutionising the existing Fijian railway network. Said Qayyum says Fiji's tourism industry would receive a major boost from a railway network upgrade, as the introduction of passenger trains would expand the tourism spending to more of the country than ever before. Goyal has offered the immediate deployment of technical expertise for the assessment of the Fijian railway network. The delegation is expected to arrive in Fiji in the next few weeks.
We would also like to ensure that the rails aren't simply just used for cane carting. It can be used for carting of passengers. It can be used for carting of freight goods that can be, spread over the railway network. It also can be used for tourism purposes. Many of the railway tracks go through some very beautiful parts of Fiji, and indeed people can be transported, from Nathandola Hotel to Momi, from Momi to Nandi, Nandi to Lautoka, Mba, Raki, all the way to Raki Raki.
Efforts are now underway to introduce arbitration to resolve disputes for businesses found on the wrong side of the law. Currently, those caught in the crossfire find a solution through mediation, headed by the Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission. Rachel Nuth reports the government is in the process of reviewing the current arbitration law.
The government wants to introduce arbitration as a provision in contracts to safeguard both local and international businesses.
As the FCCC, we receive quite a few cases. The recent one that we mediated was $109,000 complaint, just one transaction. So we mediated and the matter got resolved, the amount was refunded.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Mediation Center is also open to the different forms of dispute resolution.
So mediation and arbitration are actually two different forms of dispute resolution. The good thing about mediation is that the two parties involved, they actually, or two or three parties, the parties involved actually seek their own solution. So it's unlike in a court situation or in an arbitrator situation where a solution is actually imposed on people.
The government, in conjunction with the Asian Development Bank, conducted a week-long arbitration workshop last week with the aim to further improve the Pacific's access to international markets and investment. Rachel Nuth, FBC News.
The United Nations Human Rights Commissioner Zeid Ra'ad Al Hussein has called on the Fijian government to review the framework of a number of independent bodies. Al Hussein says while there are a number of independent institutions such as the Fijian Elections Office, the Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission and the Constitutional Affairs Commission, there is a need to ensure they are completely independent. Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commissioner Ashwin Raj is expected to comment later on the recommendations by the UN High Commissioner.
An institution that can hold up a mirror to the state will enable the state to strengthen itself. I therefore urge the government to ensure that its independent institutions are truly autonomous in its finances, administration and membership.
Several dozen members of South Pacific Business Development Fiji showcased their crafts at the Second Sisters in Business Market Day in Suva today. Business Market Day is a build-up to tonight's SPBD Fiji Awards, marking their 7th Foundation Day. Sainani Boiler reports.
Who participated in the SPBD Microfinance scheme were given a last chance today to showcase their products before the judges decide who is the best at the awards celebration tonight. I'm here to showcase what I have done and what I got from the money I loaned from SPBD. I'm selling food here, but I got a store back home in Kinoya, which was funded by SPBD, and I'm ready for the awards night tonight.
First, I joined this SPBD in 2014, so they gave my first loan was $450. So I started with that $450 until today, I'm getting $2,700.
SPBD founder and president Gregory Casagrande says tonight is a night to celebrate and to give back to their members.
Tonight, we're hosting our Foundation Day. This is our 7th anniversary of being here in Fiji. SPBD is 18 years old now. It's 7 years of operating here in Fiji, and we are celebrating the achievements of many of our extraordinary small business women entrepreneurs.
Having dispersed about $12 million to small business entrepreneurs, Casagrande says they have more in store.
The major plans for this year are to further grow our outreach, to work into new villages. The Rocky branch, for example, is brand new, so we'll be doing an awful lot of growth in that region.
The awards night is themed Preserving the Fruits of Entrepreneurship Through Savings is underway at the FMF Gymnasium. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Turning to world news, the family that took in Florida school shooting suspect Nicholas Cruz said they knew he was lonely, depressed and a bit odd, but saw no warning signs of a coming massacre. We had this monster living under our roof and we didn't know, the family has been quoted as saying. Ahead in sports, we have all the best action from the France T14, but we now join Rachel for the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Fijian economy continues to grow. And in growing Fiji, Public Trustee Corporation Limited pays out millions. Stay with us.
Moala radada ranavika, au tikongona taunu singatoka, andou talithaka na wakaronga na Bull FM, number 2 na 7.
We allora chubuni kurnambili. Iborani batukara hambara binaranga. Total takinal na warrongan ng Bula FM. Number 2 NSR. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.
Leading business tonight, the Reserve Bank in its quarterly review has stated that the Fijian economy is projected to have grown by 4.2% last year. This is a positive growth for the 8th consecutive year, following an estimated growth of 0.4% in 2016. The RBF says better than expected performance from tourism, electricity and sugar sectors continue to drive the economic expansion. It says consumption activity remained firm in the December quarter, supported by increased new vehicle registration and new credit for consumption purposes. The RBF says similarly, investment activity remains steady, backed by increase in new lending for investment purposes. And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
Thank you. Let's review the action on the South Pacific Stock Exchange last week. 5 listed securities were active on the electronic trading platform. Looking at the share price movements, Amalgamated Telecom Holding shares rose by 0.46% to end the week at $2.17. Please Global shares increased by 0.44% to close at a maximum price of $2.26. And BSP convertible notes increased by 0.58% and ended the week at $8.60. Following the 3 share price movements, the overall market capitalization concluded at $1.97 billion. That's an increase of 0.23%. And that's all from our local stock market, Vinaka.
Thanks for the update, Sharon. Looking at today's current exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. The Fiji dollar rose against the currencies we cover. 2 of our major trading partners, Australia and New Zealand, and also rose against the euro and the Japanese yen. As for the commodities market, oil prices were up to close at $62.14 a barrel. Gold closed at $1,332.29 an ounce, and silver was up to close at $17.01 an ounce. And in Fiji tonight, close to $51.4 million of estate and trust has been distributed by the Fiji Public Trustee Corporation Limited over the last 4 years. FPTCL Chief Executive Antonia Takala says this has indicated the growth of the corporation to secure a better future for Fijians. The corporation is an independent entity that provides expertise in will making and estate administration. From the $51.4 million, Takala says $15 million was from the distribution of over 300 estate and $36.4 million from the distribution of over 4,300 estate.
All is part of the service that we provide to the people of Fiji, and we continue to provide this as part of the service that the Fiji Public Trustee provides. On top of that, wills, we continue to prepare wills of about 300 a year.
And that's it from business this week. And now to sports. Here's Melly.
Good evening. Coming up, Fiji football and rugby join hands for 7th bid. And under 23 league side steps up preparations. This and more after the break.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफरी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टोटो ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
Fiji Airways men's 7th coach Gareth Baber has made only a change to the 13-member squad for the Las Vegas and Vancouver tournaments. Vatemora Vovo has made the cut into the team to Las Vegas. Ravovo was earlier called into the national team as an injury replacement when Fiji won the inaugural Hamilton Sevens this month, while Senadungu, who missed the Hamilton Sevens due to injury, makes a return together with Sevuloni Mwatinadangi, who has served his 2-match suspension in New Zealand.
We have lost a vet. He's still got an ankle injury. There was a couple of new introductions to the training this week with Reloa and Levani Tavani, and Isaki Kataribao came in. But obviously we're looking at the players who are performing at that level at the moment, who have the fitness in them as well to go and compete.
The Fiji Football Association has joined with the Fiji Rugby Union to support the bid to bring a World Rugby 7 Series tournament to Fiji next year. Fiji FA has asked all its fans to support the move by registering online. Snil Prasad reports.
It's an historic and unique moment when Fiji's two sporting bodies come together to push for a World Rugby 7 Series tournament next year. Fiji FA President Rajesh Patel says the FRU officers will be at 19 different football venues this weekend. To register more fans on their website, www.fiji47s.com.
We definitely open our arms to Fiji Rugby Union to have their officers, to make sure they get their Fiji Sevens bid table and everything. And we ask all our players and fans to sign the petition for the Sevens bid.
FRU Chief Executive John O'Connor says they will take full advantage of this weekend and has asked all football fans to show their support.
Make sure that our staff are in the venues that will have your matches. And we look forward to other clubs and other players who won't be there to log into Fiji47s.com and register.
O'Connor says it's a great opportunity to work together as one.
I think it's the start of a new journey in terms of the two major sporting bodies working together in terms of such tournaments and assisting each other.
FRU will submit its bid to World Rugby on Wednesday week.
Fiji for Sevens, it's time!
Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Sim Sevens champion Wardens will not be tinkering with its winning team in the next two local Sevens tournaments. The same squad is expected to feature in the Fiji Beta Mari Sevens next month. Coach Sailosi Naitenge says changes will only be made if there are injuries and issues within the players.
We've been doing our trial for another 3 weeks time. We trial and we select this team. So this team will carry us for the next tournament. So this is the first team for us in this tournament. And I know the boys will continue to win in the next tournament.
It was a battle of the Fijians in the French top 14 match between La Rochelle and Racing 92 this morning. 4 Fijian players were at the game as Racing defeated La Rochelle 19-12. Former Fiji Mbati coaching staff Matthias Naduki has been busy with the Fiji Under-23 Rugby League squad. He says he is pleased to be helping local players. Luciano Tangidekimba reports.
Biomechanics consultant Matthias Nadushi says the aim with the Rugby League Under-23 squad is to make them faster and more powerful for the upcoming Commonwealth Championship.
My main focus is speed and power. So I get the athletes faster for competition, leading up into competition, and create that power.
With over 20 years of experience in the field, Nadushi says it's important for players to be efficient, both on and off the field.
So first of all, it's going to help create a more efficient athlete. Okay, so that means more effective with their body movements, speed and power in relation to the actual sport.
Under-23 coach Josiah Rambella says the Commonwealth Championship is to see whether the teams are capable of joining the Commonwealth Games in years to come.
Festival of the Commonwealth Festival in Australia, it's like to just to try to get rugby league to be included in the Commonwealth Games.
The final 13-member squad will be announced tonight and will be in camp tomorrow. Luciana Tangidakimbao, FBC Sports.
Snooker player Jiten Prasad was crowned the Gaman Pillay champion versus champion after defeating Sahil Prasad in 6 frames to 1 last night at Suva's Merchant Club. The 3-day tournament over the weekend attracted the best 16 snooker players from around Viti level. Since the tournament was established, the competition gets tougher as the years go by.
From the past 5 years, the competition is pretty tough. It's very tough. The standard of the sport itself, snooker, is going up. The money and everything is going up. The sponsorship is better now. And the tournament is pretty much good.
That's it from sports tonight. Join Angie later on with weather. And in new media, we have the very latest on the Samsung Notebook 9. Details after the break.
Bula, kera mai singa toka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and ndo moi viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 na ndo moi viti.
Ayaw kuya do sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali taki na ndo pinasabale po nagunto rongo. Varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na ndo moi viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na ndo moi viti na ponga ni BNN.
In new media, the Samsung Notebook 9 pen, a slim, light 2-in-1, takes a premium laptop and borrows features from the Galaxy Note 8 phone. Let's have a look. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. The day today was extremely gorgeous around the nation, and if you're holidaying in Fiji, I hope you're enjoying yourselves to the max and of course having fun in the sun. Looking at the west for today, a lot more brighter sunny day here. More sunny periods are on their way. Eastwards from Pakaba to Suva, it's been a superb day, quite humid, but it's all worth it. And up north, such a lovely day as well. Nothing beats a gorgeous weather. At sea, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots with moderate to rough seas. As for the tides, high tide will be at 8:42 p.m. with low tide at 2:30 a.m. Sunrise will be at 6:02. For tomorrow, a gorgeous day can be expected. However, the evening period will see intense showers, especially in the Eastern Division. Tomorrow's temps, Lambasa and Savu will be cool at 29 degrees. And looking further on to Wednesday, there are showers building, so we could be in for wet spells. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse tonight, we asked, should strict penalties be implemented against those pedestrians who use mobile phones while crossing roads?
Yes, people wearing earphones while crossing the road should be heavily penalized because we drivers are always blamed for accidents caused by these people.
They should be penalized because this can cause accident because you are focusing on your phone and you get distracted.
Police should come hard on those using mobile phones while crossing the road because it's a major concern nowadays as they get carried away by the music they're listening to and totally forget to see if the road is clear.
I think they should be penalized because drivers get the full brunt of these people's actions.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, taking an at-home pregnancy test is stressful enough, but users also have to contend with how to discreetly dispose of the test and its results. Now there's a pregnancy test that can safely disappear with the flush of a toilet. Recapping the main stories, Commonwealth Education Ministers told to value teachers. Hotel worker appears in court for deadly accident. And Fiji Sevens team for next 2 tournaments has been named. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Now to our poll question, the results from last week, we had asked, should those who make hate speeches be prosecuted? 57% said yes. This week we are asking, should strict penalties be implemented against those pedestrians who use mobile phones while crossing roads? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day. This picture is from the Nausori Highlands covering Tambungotu, Tambale and Bukuya villages sent in by Mbale Ndolokoto. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
On the Radio Fiji 1 and the Moi Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 na ndo moi viti.
Ayaw kuya do sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. gitu tele tegi yang gitu Venezuela bu mengundur rongo barrongo na radio Fiji 1 nandu mibiti
na radio Fiji 1 nandu mibiti na bonga ni bienen